Tonight's tactical enhancement is even more of the stout porter because I didn't get around to drinking it all last game. Tonight we're playing black powder and we're already arguing. It's a repeat of the game from last time, except that we're at opposite ends of the table. And basically we have a town that's on fire, so nobody's going in the buildings. And we bring on one brigade per turn. They have to follow orders. The only thing is you can't fumble on the first turn because you've actually got to get onto the table. Oh, whatever the word is, there's so many rules, so many terms. You can't fuck it up and flee off the table on your first dice roll. So yes, and troops come in on the roads. They come in march column, not attack column. And that's about it, really. We just got to bash each other up. But it's a meeting engagement, so nobody gets all their troops on all at once. Now, has anyone changed their armies from last time?
No, I haven't.
No, neither did I. I haven't had a chance.
Did. All we've done is trade out a foot battery for a horse battery.
Oh, okay, so they've got a galloper gun.
Galloper gun, yeah.
Right, okay. So, on that note, in turn one, the French brought on a brigade of, heavy cav?
Yeah,
cuirassiers, the tough ones. Oh, big bloody mob of them, and we'll see if they are as absolutely spectacular this game as they were last time. And on that note, we will go over to the, the Entente?
Entente?
Whatever it is.
On over there. Yeah.
The Russians and the Prussians. End of Allied turn one, the Ussians as we've called them, and Co-General Mr. Rice has brought on, what is this,
two regiments of dragoons, some Cossacks and some Ussians.
2 regiments of dragoons, that would be the Ussians, and then that's the Cossacks at the back, and they brought their horse artillery, galloper guns. So those
3 moves.
You got 3 moves. That explains why they're spread out so far across the field and not on the road. Although these must have done something similar. All right. Well, on that note, we'll go into turn 2 for the French. Then we'll check in after that. French turn 2, and on what is their left flank, our right. This whole big phalanx of bloody cavalry came barreling over the hills and across the field. And over on our left, the Frenchy right, somewhat less cavalry, but there's still quite a few of them. And their cannon, and for some reason the cannon are parked behind a hill. Not where I put them, but okay. End of Allied turn 2, and this lot turned up with 2 moves, which is almost exactly what you need in order to get the load of the motherfuckers on the table. That's 2 foot worth of infantry and guns, and I've snuck a couple of guys on at the back. And the cavalry only got 1 move, but that's alright. They just moved up there a little bit and guarding the road and protecting the guns from any random charges from them. And the guns moved up a little bit to get a position where they can shoot through here, which might prove useful later. Now on to the French. And a French turn 3. This lot went on a react order. What does that even do?
If I attack, he charges me.
Well, that happens anyway if you attack.
Yeah, but everyone goes.
Oh, everyone goes instead of just the ones charged.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's useful. So that'll slow down our cavalry flank. And over here, this enormous slab of infantry came along. Reminds me of other games that have like artillery templates, like pie plates of whatever dimension. We could do with one of them right now. And these cavalry moved up, so they're driving hard.
Cannon got a shot off.
And the cannon got around into these guys and put a wound on them.
Excellent.
So that's that. Now we'll get more to the Ussian action and check in after turn 3, Russian and Prussian. End of the Allies turn 3, and this lot moved up. They were wanting to gallop around to the back lines, but they didn't get very far. These guys stayed there because as soon as they moved within 12 of this lot, the whole bloody lot chase after them. We had some good fortune with the command role for the Prussians, and they've advanced, deployed into attack column and marched around the left flank. Well, it's that back line, but we'll call it the left flank, with the guns bringing up the rear. And then a shed load of Russians turned up marching down the road. I think they got 2 moves. Now the cannon got 1 shot off at long range against the middle of this mass here and hit the light infantry and did a disorder as well as a wound, which is hilarious because that rather gets in the way of some of the other troops in this enormous mass of 6 friggin' battalions. So the look on Lou's face was vaguely hilarious when he was processing the disorder. But that's it for turn 3. We now go into turn 4, and it's the French, and there's enough stuff on the table now. We should be getting some serious action. End of turn 4 French. They've got 4 brigades on. The cavalry over here stayed on react. These guys tried to charge my units here, but they whiffed even on the reroll of the general. Now, because this unit of infantry was disordered, it really got in the way of things. So some troops came around here, but they're not in as big a cluster of troops as what Lou really wanted in order to support this flank. More interestingly, these guys went barreling on in. He got a really good roll, and he charged the guns. Now these guns is actually they represent a big battery. So they had 4 shots, but only 1 hit, and it wasn't even a disorder. But because it's canister at point blank, the infantry unit attacking them still had to roll, and it rolled rather poorly and fell back. It's now this one here. So it's now disordered, and it's only taken 1 wound, but it's out of position. So that was fortunate, because we rather hoped we might have blasted them, but we didn't really, but then they truffed off anyway. Now the cannons got a shot on these. They passed their morale, but they're still disordered. So Lou's taking advantage of that by marching these guys down the road here in march column, and they can't be charged. And he split his forces, so the rest are moving up here in march column, presumably to reinforce the attack up the guts. Have I missed anything? Alright, and as Lou is checking, his general is in the middle there, so he can keep tabs on both columns of his brigade. So on that note, we'll go over to the Allies, turn 4. End of Allied turn 4, and it's all happening. Okay, for the Prussian bit, these guys advanced from here, get out of the way of the guns, still in attack column in front of the horses. These ones stayed in attack column and shot but didn't do anything. The cannon, on the other hand, put a couple of rounds through these guys, knocked off 2 wounds, no disorder though. The skirmishing infantry ran up into the trees because they're wearing green, and that's what they should be doing. We did get the other brigade on. They moved up twice and then formed up, so they're actually rolling quite well on the Prussian side. Things are going adequately. The Russian infantry formed up into attack columns mostly. Looks like these guys skirmished into the orange grove. And that cannon battery there, it's now got a 3rd gun, show how big it is. Blasted 2, well, did 3 wounds, 1 saved. It just really hurt these guys. So this tip of the spear here is running into a bad, painful situation, although these guys are all attack something momentarily. These didn't move. They're still guarding the flank, and these didn't move because the disorder comes off at the end of the turn. Whereas anything else, the only other thing they could do would be to fall back, and it would have caused disordering mayhem through the troops that were forming up to do something useful. So if you could take your disorder marker off, that would be good for next turn, unless of course they get shot in the flank again. Right, so that's quite enough of the Allied forces. I think now we are back into the French for turn 5. End of French turn 5, and if it looks messy as fuck, that's because it is. Right. So the first thing they did was they charged some cavalry into this unit and the one next to it that's not there anymore, forcing them into square. Then they did rather heroic charge with these guys into one of those squares. The other unit didn't make it, and in fact on the reroll I only got one. Now we didn't do much damage to each other remarkably, but I did technically lose by one. Then I rolled snake eyes, so they buggered off, just disintegrated on the spot. So these guys reformed to be able to charge the other square. That was annoying. I'll be doing something to them shortly. Over here, I might post a photo in the turn slide, but basically this unit here charged into the Russian guns. The Russian guns shot at them 4 times, hit 3 times. The buggers saved 2 times, and then they passed their morale to march through all that canister and did what a column of infantry generally will do to a bunch of guns if they actually manage to make contact, so those guns are gone. They then reformed, doing a a brigade reform. So they've got that unit over there and this unit in line here behind the barricade, which is actually quite good. So we'll be thinking about what to do about that soon, because we do have some units that could just attack them in the face. But then there's another big battery of guns here, so who knows, we'll make up our mind shortly. Let's see, these guys moved up a little. This lot moved through here. I'm not sure if they're going to come around and attack this way or what they're going to do. They're being rather aggressive today. We're having fun being aggressive with the Prussians last time, trying to be aggressive with the Russians. I suppose they were, but the French were also being aggressive. But this game, they've got us boxed into the bloody corner. We're taking up very little of the table while they've just been going hammer and tongs, moving everything into our faces.
That was a great move.
I suppose getting in other people's faces is what the French do enjoy. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, this lot charged one of the horse units, and they met. They swapped a wound each, but then there was 2 supports over here, so that other unit of cavalry had to fall back. They actually passed their morale, but they still had to break off, and they are now back here. Lovely. Another round of tactical enhancement. This time some tactical enhancement that I can actually drive home with.
Just enhancement.
Well, we count our drinks around here, mate, and I'm mucking about. So what it means is we've been clobbered a bit. We've lost a unit, but a lot more wounds have been taken off the French army for them to get to where they are. So now we've got to start dishing out some damage to offset our losses. So on that note, let's go into the Allies' turn 5 and see if we can't blast some of these fellows all the way back to where they came from. End of turn 5 for the Allies, thereabouts. Now, some sort of news. I rolled really well for the command for the Prussians, and I moved up the whole other brigade, and including underbring this, so half the brigade is behind other guns. These guys managed to get some rounds on those horses and pin them and whatnot, and the infantry there put some rounds on them, disordered, not pinned, so they're down on 2 wounds now. Shot at these chaps, but they made their save. And I put a few other rounds around here and there, but didn't achieve a lot. Over here, so the Russians sent 1 battalion up here, charged into, I think it was these guys, which gave them space to unlimber the guns and blast like crazy at these chaps. Of course, the guns, they missed, and then in the melee, the Russians couldn't make an arm save to save their life, whereas the French are making saves all over the place. It's an interesting game because the Prussians are doing very well on the commands, and in fact overall our army is doing what it's supposed to be doing, but the French are making a mad selection of saves, even though their orders are a bit dicey, and we've been rolling quite poorly. Like I had a unit there chuff off on a snake eyes, and this Russian unit over here chuffed off on 4 or something. So we've lost 2 units to just unfortunate morale tests. That said, we've got a huge mass of stuff right where we need it. So in theory, we should be able to make life very hard for the French, because they're engaged in a full-blown charge, and they're going to try and do that bloody cavalry thing again, the sneaky blighters. So anyway, on that note, we will check in again at the end of French turn 6. End of French turn 6. Right, well, what they tried to do was send these horses into this slot, which forced them into square, and they backed off with the intention of charging either these infantry or these infantry into this unit while it's in square. But as the habits have persisted through the evening, the French didn't do too well on their orders. So these guys didn't go anywhere. And in fact, they needed a reroll from the general to get these guys to even work. Then when these infantry came up, even with the reroll from the other general, because there's 2 generals per side, they still only moved once. So they're bottlenecking in. Over here, I didn't even hit them once, but actually made my saves for a change. And this time they didn't disintegrate on a double one. They stuck around. Took a wound, but we can handle that. Over here, there's a bit of shuffling around. They did a lot of shooting, mainly from that line there into this unit, and took a wound off. Now, some of these cavalry manoeuvred, and these infantry manoeuvred, but one of those cavalry charged headlong into a unit of lancers, Russian lancers, knocked one wound off of them, but pushed them back, and then followed up. So this rollicking melee is still going on, only now everybody's isolated, and it's happening behind the lines of the main French push. So it's a very interesting fight unfolding. It looked like they were going to smash us at various points, but the French orders are letting them down in the same way that our morale tests have been letting us down. So it's very even. And now we're over to the Allies' turn 6, and if we don't blast the living bejesus out of some French in this turn, I'll be very cross. End of Prussian turn, what was this, 6? Prussian and Russian turn 6. And you'd be mistaken for thinking it was the French turn. Let's see, what happened? This cannon battery and these infantry blasted at these French chaps again, and again managed to whiff and do nothing to them. Better news, these guys fired at these troops here, and they're shaken and disordered. But the cavalry over there, the cuirassiers, French cuirassiers, in their follow-up against the lancers, smashed them, and, well, actually didn't smash them, they only took a little bit of damage, and they took the same damage in return. However, the lancers rolled really badly and just evaporated, and then their supporting unit rolled really badly and just evaporated. Meanwhile, in this fight against the square, I only lost one wound, but naturally on the test, my infantry evaporated. We've had something like 4 out of 5 units just decide to scoot off first chance they got. Second chance they got for these guys. So again, we're seeing a situation where the French orders are not working very well, but our guys are showing a distinct lack of their usual resilience. So we're down, I think, 4 units now? 5 units?
I've lost 3.
We're down 5. Yeah, 5 battalions, because the first chance they got, they rolled a 4 or less. So on that note, we'll push on. It's the French turn 7. But we do have an enormous cluster of material here, including lots of guns. We do still have a pretty solid middle there, and nobody's getting around our right. We just need to turn some of this scrappy mess of shots, because we actually fired these guys into there, these 2 units into there. These guys put themselves back in march column, and one of the cannon into there, 2 shots, and we've got a grand total of 3. So they're shaken, but they're not disordered. And they're certainly not broken. And this unit moved up just a little bit to get better line of fire, but it's hasn't had a chance to shoot. So, we're doing things, but our guys are just choosing to run away at inconvenient moments. Now, if the French could do the same thing, we'll have a good time of it.
Well, the dice will dictate.
Yeah, so on that note, we'll move into French turn 7. End of French turn 7, I think, from memory. Right, it was an interesting one. This lot came barreling down the road at speed toward the guns, and they actually ran out of space.
We couldn't get through, yeah.
That's right. Now, this lot here, who for some reason have managed to not get shot after being blasted by multiple cannon for several turns, managed to disorder these guys. But Didn't take any wounds off. And same over there. These guys disordered the Jaegers, whatever they are, in the woods.
Dragoons. Oh, yeah. Jaegers.
But didn't kill any. And then these cavalry came barreling in, trying to force the flank, and they pushed the unit back, but only because there were so many of them. They actually won in terms of damage. Right, then over here we had a good time. I was just saying something about how we really need to have one of their units disappear. Well, before that happened, this lot charged into one of the guns. We shot them up, but they broke through. That's to be expected. And over here, one of these units charged this unit. And I had a lot of supports, but I think I may have done a smidge more damage. And that unit, if French evaporated, and it's about time. Hopefully they'll do it a few more times. These guys charged into the woods and they chased off the skirmishers. They run back here. Geez, what else? I think that's it. One of the interesting things was that there were so many French close that all the impulse moves happened all at once. And some of the clever things like the cavalry coming in and forcing things into square, well, they couldn't do it because they were further away. So I guess the lesson is if you want to do that with the cavalry, leave them close enough to do something by impulse. Well, then the cannon were very upset because there wasn't anyone to shoot at this turn. Right, I think that's enough of that. We're now going into the Allied turn 7. We probably only got one more turn after this, so we better make it count. End of turn 7 for the Allies, and I formed a bit of a better line. I moved this gun up to get an extra shot at them, and of course I only hit them once, and they saved. Shot with these guys at them, and they saved. I hit them and they saved. I moved these guys so I could get 3 units shooting at this lot instead of just 1, and would you believe it, he made his saves. Better news, over here, this lot blasted at, what did they shoot at?
Shot here and...
Oh yes, these guys, the
leaving the table.
Jaegers or whatever they are, they hit and shook one of the cavalry units. That makes 2 out of 3 shaken.
Yeah.
They're going to scarper next turn. That was unexpected, but Jesus, good. What did the cannon hit?
Hit that.
Cannon hit them. Okay, that's good. It's a wound off.
The infantry disordered them.
And the infantry disordered them, but didn't take any wounds off. I did try and sneak my skirmishers through a little gap there back into the woods, but they failed their leadership. I forgot to use my general for that. Oh well, too late. I should have been extra cunning by using the general's cunning. That, I believe, is about it. Did I miss anything?
No.
I'll just comment again just how badly boxed in we are. But now we have an open flank.
We do.
Tell you what, it's been an aggressive French night tonight.
We're going to slow play it.
So we got one more turn left of the game because it's a deadline for some people. And we'll check in after that. End of French turn 8, and it's been a bit of an interesting one. They moved some cavalry up there to occupy the crossroads, because I didn't even really know that we were actually supposed to capture the crossroads. That's the objective for the night. These guys turned to face the road so they can shoot at these chaps as they presumably run up the road to try and take the crossroads. These guys, okay, so the line of infantry that was shaken and couldn't do anything fell back in disorder to clear the road so that this lot could come running down the road and jump on the Russian cannons, which they did, but they got shot in the face, disordered and shaken at the same time, and they ended up bashing up the cannon, but they're not looking too flash. And now them and their supporting unit have positioned themselves here to present a threat. Now over here, a whole lot of jostling went on. A unit of infantry charged past the guns into this unit here, got shot at by all and sundry on the way in, and they broke. No, actually, correction, they're shaken. They fell back in disorder for being shot up too much. They were won over. These cavalry moved up to support only to see them streaming away. These cannons roared up and shot at point-blank range into my cannons and killed a guy and disordered them. A unit charged these chaps, lost badly, and another 4. So another French unit disintegrated. I'm feeling a bit better about ours chuffing off earlier. And these guys came charging out of the woods with a rear wall. A bit of encouragement from the general, actually. They didn't make it initially. Banged into this unit, but they got a bit of support. They actually took 2 guys off of this unit. I don't know if I didn't. I don't think I did anything to them in return, but we held. It was a tie. And now we're into the French. Last turn, turn 8. Let's see if we can crack them, because the French... Oh yeah, because these guys, these horsies are running away. 2 units out of 3 shaken. It's opened the road up. So we're going to see if we can crack another French brigade, and if we can do that, we can have the knight with or without the crossroads. Says I, without checking what the rules are and their mission conditions. But anyway, stuff it. We'll check in at the end of turn 8. End of turn 8, and it's game, interestingly, and not because of the time limit either. Right, what happened? The Russians finally got to charge some French. These Russians finally got to charge some French. These Russians tried to charge some French and totally whiffed even with a reroll, so they were hoping to gallop up here and crash into these guys and contest the crossroads, but no, that didn't work. On the other hand, we didn't do any charging with the Prussians because the 2 units best positioned to do it were damaged, and it might have been pushing our luck. Well, I mean, they're damaged and they're from the same unit, and yeah, that brigade is already... Actually, they're okay. Anywho, so we just shot, and the shooting was staggeringly ineffective. They shot but didn't... I think the saves were made. These guys missed completely at point blank range. That was hilarious. These guys all shot. Only one of them hit this, and I think he made his save. Even if he did it, and it didn't matter. We did put these guys in reverse, then moved them up again to support these chaps, which is good. It meant that we won this melee, and we did do some damage on these guys. Or did we? I can't even remember. They passed anyway. They're still here.
One word.
In the fights, well, the Russians won, but the French stuck around.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. And
that one did. That one ran off, but that one stuck.
That one's gone.
Oh, this one's scarpered. That's a good point.
Yeah.
These chaps shot at them. These chaps shot at them. We were so trying to break them. So that would break the 2nd French Brigade. But they made so many of their saves. Then we realised that actually these guys are shaken and they're part of that brigade. These guys are shaken, they're part of that brigade. These guys are okay, but both this unit and this unit is part of that brigade.
That's shaken, that's off the board.
So we've got one member of this brigade off the board, and the other ones... 3 others are shaken. So we've actually broken 2 French brigades. But the French have the crossroads. So we're just going to quietly argue indefinitely about who won.
We won.
But I tell you what, well, there's a lot of dead Frenchmen. You can sing that at their funerals.
There's a million more.
Or while the local dentists are pulling their teeth out. I tell you what, hell of a game. Very aggressive. The French just went hammer and tongs and boxed us right in. And it was marginal. It came down to the last melee, really, right here to break that last French unit.
The Russians didn't like losing their guns.
No, they do it quite often.
It really pissed them off.
Although, they did smash the shit out of the French in the process.
They did.
Gentlemen, what have we learned?
Heavy cavalry, although awesome, can be quite vulnerable.
Yes, that's the horses' bottoms over there, fleeing for the end of the table.
Yeah. Keep rallying them when possible.
Yeah, they're massively destructive until they stop.
Yeah.
And this is the best group of wargamers in Adelaide, and this is how you play wargames.
Indeed.
That's right. There are occasions where we apply gentlemen's rules. It makes the game a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Even though I was being as cheeky as I possibly could with the skirmishes.
You're trying for it.
Let's give them a go. Yeah, it's a cracking game, gentlemen. So on that note, do feel free to hit like, subscribe, watch another video. That's what helps the algorithm these days, apparently. And if you really can't be asked, maybe just play it quietly in the background. Cheekiness aside, thanks for watching. I think it's time to call it a night.